Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday, the 26th day of June 2026. 6/26/26. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. Your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessing upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders. Those also doing those business to save lives every day. Those that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children who are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The people out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, profiteers, and the perverts that create the great demands that cause these evil things to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Listen, 2 days ago, I did a video saying sad day because I knew we were going to lose Mitchell Robinson. Some of y'all talking about, well, we knew 6 months ago. It's irrelevant today. Don't give me, please stop saying stuff that's irrelevant. It's a waste of time. Somebody say, you sound like you're on the rag today. Hell yeah, I am. I'm not happy about losing Mitchell Robinson. I'm not happy at all. He's one of my favorite Knicks. It's like Deuce. Anytime somebody mentions trade Deuce, you lost me already. You lost me. There's nothing else to discuss. There's nothing else I want to hear from you. Period. Okay? On the channel or not on the channel. Some of you act like I need you. I don't. So listen. Time to move forward and make a pivot. Now, let's talk about the situation. We know why you can't get Mitchell Robinson back. The most the Knicks can offer probably started at $9 million. He ain't taking that. He's going to get the minimum probably starting salary for him is going to be 12. He can get like 336, 448. Mitch is going to get something like that. A bench piece, really. He's not a starter, although I heard, or I hate to say I heard, because so many of y'all use that. Although it was written that the Lakers were interested in him for a starter. Whoever gets Mitch Robinson a starter is a stupid team because you're going to get a hurt guy and then he's not going to be available. But the smart teams understand what he did for the Knicks last year and will put him in the same position. That number is no more than $12 million a year. So that should be good. Now, the good thing is the Knicks will retain Landry Shamet. So you can count Landry Shamet in, okay? So now you're going to have Diawara. You're going to have Landry Shamet. You're going to have Deuce McBride. You're going to have Jose Alvarado. You're probably going to have Jordan Clarkson, and you're going to have Ariel Hukporti, who's very important right now to what we're talking about. What do we need? You're not going to get a Mitchell Robinson. Okay? Understand that. You're not going to get Mitchell Robinson. But what can you realistically get at the vet minimum? You can get things that we need at the 5. A 7-footer or somebody 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot that has a motor and can play defense. You don't need him to hit 3-pointers. You don't need him to be a superstar or all-star. Some of y'all gonna act like you do. You just need a guy that can give you defense, motor, and maybe be nice if he can hit some free throws, okay? There is a lot of those guys out there at the vet minimum. The sweet spot, listen carefully. Some of y'all are going to throw out, and some of you already did, throw out numbers like Dwight Howard, DeAndre Drummond, DeAndre Jordan. Come on. Old dudes that's past their prime, stop. We don't want them. We need a young dude, somebody with youth energy, somebody that's past the initial point. See, when all young, energetic centers come into the league, they're like bulls in the china shop. They be fouling a lot. And you should know that just from Mitch's history with us and then now Hukporti. But when they get to about their 3rd season, they start to figure it out a little bit, and then they become less of a liability, and their athleticism, their energy becomes more of a positive. Then there are those that are really good, that if you can get them before they start really getting paid, like we did with Mitchell Robinson, you can get something. But teams usually recognize that, usually. So I'm going to name some names that fits this bill. Like yesterday, we talked about Yve Missi. To me, he's the epitome of what we're talking about. Young, he's like 6'11", athletic, defensive, hits his free throws, and he's got a very high upside. Gonna be, other teams have inquired about him already and been rebuffed. But I'm thinking if we're offering Mitchell Robinson with Diabate and throw in some second picks and some cash, we might be able to get it done anyway because it's a big package. The boys be worth it to me. But what you want to find, for all of you that like to look like I do and search, the 2024 draft is the sweet spot. The 2024 draft, it goes like, so that player got drafted in 2024. They played in 2024-25, 25-26, and they're playing now their third season in 26-27. You want somebody that's going to be able to get the minimum. So you're looking at second round dudes or end of the first round dudes that hasn't developed quickly yet, but still got upside, okay? So that's your sweet spot. You can go 2025, but you're looking a little green in 2025. I picked a couple of players from 2025, but they're older, okay? So they're not old, but they're like 25 already, okay? So they still will work out. Or we got a guy that many of y'all forgot about, who the Knicks drafted and stashed, who came last summer and wasn't ready. But we don't know. He might be ready this year. And this year, that same boy is going to be 22 years old, 7 feet, 7-foot wingspan. Y'all remember James Nnaji? We still have his rights. Okay? And we're going to find out in about a week because I'm sure he's going to be on the Summer League team. And we're going to see if he's developed. Last year, he needed to learn positioning under the basket, how to hold his spot. He's got the defense. He's got the motor. We just need to see him learn a few more things, right? Like holding his spot on, like MitchRob. He can hold his spot. MitchRob holding his spot is not elite, but you do want a guy to be able to do that. So we're going to see. We got him in-house already because we got James Nnaji. Kyle Filipowski. Somebody mentioned him to me. He's $3 million a year. He's 23 years old, but I think Charlotte understands what they got. See, they got something there, and I think they know they got something there. So because of that, it'd be harder. Somebody mentioned him, and yes, he fits the bill. Energy, defense, right? Motor, right? He fits the bill. 7 feet. Third season. He fits the bill, but I don't think that Charlotte ain't going to let go of him because he is, you can make an inquiry, obviously we will, but that would fit. But Charlotte is an interesting team. Look, about a week ago, I told y'all that Minnesota was clearing space and that they might want to go after Jaylen Brown. Somebody's like, who they going to give it to Jaylen Brown? I always get idiots that come back at me, want to argue. I'm not going to argue with you. If you don't understand or you don't believe or you want to learn, I'll teach you. But if you want to argue, go back to X. Get away from me. But look what happened. They went and got LaMelo Ball. And by the way, still looking at Jaylen Brown as I thought. But the absence of LaMelo Ball puts a big hole at their point guard spot. Big hole at point guard. They got Trey Mann at point guard. And they don't have much else at point guard. Trey Mann. See? And I'm not saying Trey Mann from Florida, he could play. He's drafted originally by Oklahoma City. And, and they could put him in there. I mean, Trey Mann getting $8 million this year. He's on an expiring deal. Well, he's team option next year. They could put him in there. But would not this be a perfect spot for our boy? Would not this be a perfect spot for Mr. Tyler Koloko? Would not this be a place where he could get some run right away, have a chance to definitely be in the rotation, if not start? So, they may not want to give you their future star, Ryan Kalkbrenner. Got it. But what about Moussa Diabate? Moussa Diabate is 25. If you remember anything, he's a roughneck. He's a roughneck in the beef stew mode, but he could play center. Coming off our bench, Moussa will be tough. And he makes $2.5 million right now. He's going to be unrestricted. He's also expiring. So I think Moussa, for our boy, might be something you might want to look at. See? So we got the options of, so far, James Nnaji. We got Yve Missi. We got Moussa Diabate. See, there's options. See, it's like what Marlo said in The Wire. Remember what he said to the security guard? He said, you thought it was one way. He said, but it's the other way. See, there's always an other way. We're dealing with the Don. You got to understand what we got. Okay? So far I've named James Nnaji. I've named Moussa Diabate. And then yesterday was Yve Missi. Wait, we got a lot of more. Let me show you the other stuff. Now, I mentioned Kyle Filipowski, but I don't think that's realistic. What about Adem Bona? Adem Bona, 23 years old, ready for the $2.3 million, out of UCLA. He plays for Philly, but he could be somebody at 2.3. We can maybe help them out by sending both our youngins, send Tyler and what's the name? Pacome Dadier. We could send both of them there. So that's $5 million, and we're taking back 2.5. That works. Okay. We got also Johnny Broom out of Auburn. Older dude, 26, like 6'10", heavy set, muscular dude. Not the top of the pile for me, but he's somebody we might be able to get. Then you talked about Yve Missi. There's another dude like Yve Missi who's a free agent, Christian Koloko. Christian Koloko on the Hawks. Christian Koloko was drafted. He's also 26 years old, okay? So he's a little older. He was taken like in 2022, I think. But he still ain't old. He's 26. He'll take that minimum contract. He's a restricted free agent right now. Restricted free agent. We can maybe get him, sign and trade. Koloko is what we're talking about. Defensive, motor, okay? And now he's 26, he's a little bit mature, but that might work out for us. So what we got possibilities now? Koloko, Missi, Diabate, Broom, okay? Nnaji, Bona. That's 6 possibilities. Good possibilities, especially when you're dealing with the Don. Like I said, we're not looking at DeAndre Jordan. We're not looking at Andre Drummond. We're not looking at Dwight Howard, oh my God. No. These guys are done. We need somebody young that's got energy. Remember, motor. Now, we're going to need whoever this dude is. I'm not sure if one of these guys, they're going to battle it out for the backup center between them and Hukporti. They're going to battle it out. Now, let me just explain. Some of y'all still don't understand the numbers because some of y'all insisting we could sign Mitch, and I was trying to tell you, the only way to sign Mitch is to go over to Apron. That's why I was confident they would do it. But when Dolan decided he ain't doing that, that was the end of Mitch. Okay? They weren't going to be trading rotation pieces to make room for Mitch. No. So, we knew Mitch was going. Okay. Now, it's going to be Hukporti. But the money we got left, and many people don't understand, again, the starting 5 is $192 million. The second apron is $222 million. There's a $30 million difference between. So the bench is going to cost you $30 million. Y'all understand me so far. Now, you got 2 options. Just fit everybody in $30 million, which is probably what's going to happen. Or you can trade. We talked about Tyler. We talked about Pacome. You could trade them and create more space. It could go from 30 to 35 million. Okay? You can create more space. Again, you're not going to be able to keep Mitchell Robinson, but you can create more space. Now, you definitely need enough space to sign 15 guys because you got to have a roster. You get penalized like $4 million if you don't have 15 guys. It's a roster penalty. But the Knicks can't afford no roster penalty. So they're going to have 15 guys. Okay, so you can get 2 two-way guys. Okay, you can have that. And then you're going to have another 13 guys. So really, we should be in good shape here. Let's look at it. You got Deuce, who's about $4 million. Okay, so now you're down to $26 million. You got him. You just signed Diawara. That's about $2.8 million. So now let's call it 3. So you're down to about $23 million. So if you have $23 million, right, and you're dealing, and then the 2 rooks we just got ain't gonna be more than 1.3. So that's half, because they rooks. That's a smart move by the time. So the 2 of them together might be 2.7. Then you're going to have a Hukporti, 2.5. Then you're going to have your Landry Shamet. I think Shamet will come in, I don't know what his overall number is going to be, but I think they can get him in the first year around 7. That'll work, okay? So you have Landry Shamet, you got Deuce, you're going to have, you're going to have a nice bench. And now if you add one of these 6 dudes we talking about, you got an energetic big that runs the floor. And even if he's the third stringer, in Ariel Hukporti, you got an energetic big that runs the floor, okay? That's what you need, and plays defense. That's what we need. Okay? Again, don't try to replace MitchRob with MitchRob. You're not going to get it. But if you can get somebody that plays defense and brings energy, okay, runs the floor, can really bring that motor, all of these cats, Bona, Nnaji, Broom, Diabate, Missi, Koloko, they all bring that. Okay? They all bring that. The oldest of them is 26. Most of them in between 22, 23. Perfect. Okay, and this is before they'll start being worth what Mitch is worth now. Okay, so you can get them at a right situation, put them fit in your rotation if they're good enough. If not, they'll be behind Hukporti. Hukporti is going to be the de facto replacement for Mitch. They already got him. They know they've developed him. He's going to be no more than 2.5. You could put him in there, and that's fine. Okay, because again, think about it. Hukporti, Shamet, Diawara, Deuce, Alvarado. You still got a hellified bench now, okay? So we could do that. And then you still got JC. We don't even know. They might have enough of the minimums to bring back JC. West 4th Street might make another appearance, okay? But the bottom line, you're going to have a ready team to run and try to get this chip again. We're going to have that, okay? So the key today, though, what I'm talking to you about is the replacement for Mitch. Aside from Ariel Hukporti, who I got faith in, but there's another 6 guys we could look at that's available, okay? All of them guys available at the vet men, available what we need to do, okay? So don't fret. The Don's doing his business. We're going to find out about Mitch before, sometime around July 1st, somebody will sign him. We'll find out about Shamet before July 1st. The Knicks will re-up him. Once we get the Mitch stuff cleared up, Shamet will come back. Then after July 1st, you start dealing with your minimum contract guys, okay? And those are guys you may not hear about. Like last year, we didn't hear nothing about Shamet all summer. And then all of a sudden at the end, he comes back for the minimum. So Shamet will be signed early this time. But then your other guys, Diawara, we already signed. So now you got other guys, somebody like a Kevin McCullough, we don't know. Jeremy Sohan, we don't know. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. So we'll have to find out. Jeremy Sohan will find out. We could use him because another guy that's 6'9", plays defense, can guard 5s. Hey, we need that. So we'll see if we could fit them in under the apron with the vet minimum. That's what we're looking at here. So I tell you right now, we got at least 10 that we're going to bring. It's them last 5 guys that we're dealing with, okay? And I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just how, when, and who. That's really what it comes down to. The last 5 guys, how, when, and who. The most important piece, though, is to get a 5. So we can get a 5. That's what we need right now. We got a number of options. The Don's already working. And we don't even know. There's a dude out there like Think Pate. He might have been playing in Germany, like Hukporti or something. And maybe he's experienced. Maybe he's 26. Maybe he's ready. I'm thinking that's Nnaji. But we'll see. Okay? We're going to find out. Anyway, be safe out there. Enjoy your Friday. I think this is going to work out well, y'all. At the end of the day, we're going to be back, and we're going to be rolling, and we're going to be competing, and everybody's going to be having to fight against the juggernaut. So